facing any tough situations recently and lacking a little bit of clarity? I've never been there.
It's funny you say that because I know that you have, because I've been there right there.
Yeah, I was there a couple weeks ago with you. Yeah.
Yeah. So, gosh, that's such a good one. I think back to some advice we got from a friend and mentor who really encouraged us during a time where we were facing what seemed like a big deal, like a really big deal.
A big decision.
And it was a big decision. But he said, okay, you're totally clear on what it is you don't want. You know that this thing over here doesn't work. So now it's time to figure out what does work. Like, what are you going to go towards?
What do you want? Yeah, he gave us the analogy of sort of like if you were going out and let's say dating again. For some reason, you were available in the market again. Like, what do you want in your spouse, or what do you want in your next partner, right? Like, and so take that into business for a second, right? If you're like lacking some clarity right now on some big decisions that need to be made, or maybe a move that's upcoming or something like that, like don't look externally for the answer and do too much shopping. Start by going internally and creating that list of like write down some of your likes and dislikes, right? It was sort of the advice that we got, instead of like going around and asking, what can this person do for me? And how's that person doing this particular thing? Do I want to follow their model? Like, instead of looking to be sold, if you will, write down what you want and don't want.
You know, I think about this because I get the opportunity to meet with agents basically every day. And sometimes it's because they're looking for a new team. They want to talk about our team, or they're looking for a new brokerage. They want to talk about our brokerage, or just business in general. Like maybe they're looking for a new CRM or whatever the case is. And I'm always asking, like, well, what's important to you in a new home, right? If you're looking for a new team or you're looking for a new brokerage, what are you looking for? Like, what has to be there?
Yeah.
And I'm always shocked at how many people say, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
And so, and I guess I'm really not really that shocked because I've been there before.
Correct.
And I think the tendency is, well, we know what we don't want, but we actually haven't gotten clear on what we do want. And so I always say to people, like, well, how are you going to know what you're looking for when you find it if you don't know what you're looking for?
Right.
Right. So you've got to be really clear, like, hey, it's got to be X, Y, and Z. Like these are the things these are the have to haves. I think about like new home buyers, right? Have to haves. These are the nice to haves. And if we can do that, then I'm interested.
Yeah.
Right.
One of the things that I kind of smile at a little bit, and I'm not making fun of it, but I think there's a lesson to be learned here, is that sometimes, you and I will talk to people that are changing brokerages a lot, right? And so people will say, well, why should I come to your brokerage? That's a question I get.
And
I
don't know that you should.
I always hesitate to answer that one until I'm really clear on what you value, what you're about, what you want more of, what you want less of. Like, so I try to walk through a little bit of that exercise. And I get it. There's nothing wrong with like going out and test driving, if you will, certain things to see the different features and things that people have. But I don't think you ever want to give up your power to somebody for you to tell some salesperson or somebody that's already at some company or selling some product to you why you should buy it. Like, I think you want to understand the benefits of something and the perks and the highs and the lows. But at the end of the day, I think it's your clarity on what you want and what you don't want and where you're at today and where you want to go. I think it's that type of clarity that then helps you make the decision confidently of what product you should buy or what real estate brokerage you should join, or et cetera, et cetera.
Absolutely. Again, I just come back to the fact of, you know what, you've got to be really clear on at least a couple. I'm not saying you have to have everything mapped out.
No.
Like if you're looking for a new spouse or you're looking for a new company to do business with, I'm not saying it's got to be like top to 10, or top to bottom, 100% of the things you've got to have dialed in. But you've got to know, like, hey, here's the key things that I really want in a new whatever, in a new spouse, in a new brokerage, in a new CRM, or whatever the case is I'm looking for. Got to be really clear, like, here's some have to haves.
Yeah.
Here's have to haves. And if I can't have those, then you know what? I probably shouldn't be there, right? Because I can count, I actually have lost count of how many times I've said, I don't know why you should.
Yeah.
Maybe you shouldn't. Like, the whole point of this conversation is to figure that out.
Yeah.
So let's do some investigating rather than selling.
Yeah.
Let's do more investigating on what it is that we think that we want, or we say that we want, so that way we know we've got it when we have it.
Yeah, and in closing, if that list is even too hard for you to create right now, what do I want, what do I not want, then maybe you just need to do a brain dump. Maybe you need to dump everything on a piece of paper or a whiteboard that's been going through your brain. You and I did this a few weeks ago, and it was really clear. Like, it helped us see, okay, this is all the stuff we've been considering or thinking about. There's all these different courses we could go, directions, but like, what really, like we heard this phrase one time, what makes the boat row faster, right?
Yeah.
Like, I think we shared that on a previous blog. What makes the boat row faster? And so So we asked that question and we got clear on that. And then we wrote down all the stuff around it that was sort of confusing to us, like all these options and, hey, there's a left turn over here and a fork in the road over here, like all that stuff. And then we sat back and just looked at it, and the clarity then helped us decide what we wanted and what we didn't want. So maybe you need a brain dump. I'll just throw that out there as well. If you can't get clear on what you want, what you don't want, maybe you need a brain dump and to really ask yourself the question, what's going to make the boat row faster? And then maybe that will help you come up with the list of what I want and what I don't want. But clarity is power, and there's some different exercises that we hope you've learned from today that will help you go out and make some tough decisions that might be on your plate.